Greetings, YouTube. This is Kylo the NESMAN coming at you with a very special review. Want to take a moment to shout out my good friend Desirea Johnson, who has given me this early Christmas gift. Thank you so much, Des. This is the Autobot Drift from the Transformers movie Age of Extinction. Now, quite frankly, let me just start off by saying I did not like the live-action Transformers movie. I am not a fan of Michael Bay's work. That being said, the toys are pretty damn good, and as a Transformers enthusiast, I'm very happy to have this one. I never would have known to pick this up, but since she got it for me, I'm very happy with it. So let's get right down to brass taxes in the review. Let's start by talking about Drift himself. From what I read about him when setting up on his character, if I recall, his body was blue in the movie, but overall, he is red in the toy. Now, I know there's a red model of him in one of the movies as well, but since I didn't watch all of the movies, I really don't know that much about him. I do know that he was a triple changer. He became a helicopter as well as this car that was modeled after a 2017 Mercedes AMG. So that's not bad. I mean, the car itself, the design is very nice. Rims are pretty sweet. The car is something I think I would like to drive myself. The grille is very well painted. The headlights are pretty well detailed. I will say I like that. And the car is pretty smooth looking in vehicle mode. Also, you have the one little Autobot symbol right there on the top. And as for, you would not know this is a robot unless you flip the thing over like this. And he's just sitting there like flat on his face, like, hi, I'm down here. And as you can see, the face is modeled after a samurai. The whole body type and his way of battle is modeled after a samurai. And I love me some samurai. I love me some ninja. I love me some monk style fighting. So I love what they did with the character. Again, though, not a huge fan of the movies. Maybe if this was more animated, like in the animated series of some sort, then I'd like it. I mean, maybe it was some Transformers animated. I don't know that because I haven't done the research on that one. So who's to say? But it's kind of just flat right there on the bottom. No hiding it at all. You see the arm, see the body, see the face. But we'll get into detail about that later. And it rolls back and forth as rolly things should. I will say the detail on the windshields are... The windshield here, very nice. The rear view mirror is what I meant to say. Sorry. It's very difficult to get a good camera shot in there, but from what I can see right here. The rear view mirrors look pretty nice. Car is very well put together. And he looks like, honestly, to me, this one kind of looks like a Stunticon. Now, honestly, this one is sports car-ish in design, and that's what one of the Stunticons was. Sports cars, race cars. They were modeled after all types, not including Motormaster, who was a big fat semi-truck. But we're not talking about the Stunticons. We are talking about Drifty the Drift. And he is a badass looking vehicle. I love the way this car looks. You know, if I had a car like this, I'd probably keep it in a garage. I wouldn't drive it out. This isn't a car you drive. This is a car you display at a car show. You know, that's just my opinion, though. But then, what do I know? I don't know a million makes of cars. But now, if you go by here, you see the design, the lines here show where basically everything connects. And I'm starting this off in vehicular mode because I know the toy comes in robot mode in the packaging, but I wanted to just show off the car first. So I'm going to leave it like that for a minute so you guys can pause the video, admire the car all you like. Put it up front. Tell me in the comments below if you like the car design. Because they were pretty normal looking. I mean, as far as some of the animated series where they were all futuristic designs, some of them. Others didn't really have such a normal, if you can call it that, normal look in their vehicular modes. But the movie did a damn good job, I will say, of giving them sweet-looking vehicle modes. The transformations in the movie was all types of crazy, but what do you want? It's Michael Bay. I'm sorry. Again, not a big fan, but I'll try to keep that to a minor point. Otherwise, there's the lines. Sorry, the lines are very well detailed. Rims are sweet. The wheels have no trouble moving, as I said before. When you look inside, however, you don't see any driving position. You don't see any seats because of the way the toy is built, and the transformation pretty much it's transformation is that's what those things are for on the bottom. Those are the legs inside, and the back windshield looks pretty neat. I kind of wish they had some maybe back wipers. Some cars do. Windshield wipers right here are pretty well detailed. It looks like a typical toy car. Again, if you didn't know this was a Transformer, you wouldn't believe it was. But on to that note, one thing that I will say about his character, from what I understand, he was a bit hard to read. I mean, he comes off as he's all about peace 1 minute, and then he then want to bust something up, because he's ready to chop Autobots or Decepticons left and right. One scene, he's actually on a campsite with the other Autobots, and he mouths off about Bumblebee, calling him weak. Bumblebee jumps him, and basically he's got his sword right to Bumblebee's throat. So it's like he's very easy to set off. Another thing I will say about Drift is simple name, pretty much. That's what we like to do with these cars. We like to drift, we like to drift. We like to skid. We like to crash into things. We like to bump some fenders, and that's where these names come from. But anyway, on to the transformation. Basically, what you want to do is we want to peel this aside. Very simple, like that. On the side, do the same thing. Transformation is actually pretty easy. I'm going to take this and flip it back. On the other side, do the exact same thing. Like that. And we're going to come here like this. Very easy. You're basically going to pull that out. And the parts is so much basically about folding. The whole thing here is really about being extra careful with your Transformer parts like that. Oops, sorry. Right here. Boom. It comes out like that. And the whole back comes out, as you can see. Very simple, very clean. And just like that. That rolls. Kind of rolls and spins. Very easy to get out of the way. As for this, we're going to pull the legs apart. Just like that. Sorry if I'm not getting into detail. Feet come down, just like that. Arms come out, just like that. And boom. Really, it's pretty freaking simple. I honestly thought this transformation was going to be a little bit more complicated. But there's one little piece like that. Fold that in, and it hides that away very well. Now, you can't really do anything to hide the robot kibble on the back. But before I get into talking about that, let's zoom up so you can see the face. You can see the awesomeness that is the samurai Drift. He is all types of samurai action here. He's got some serious robot action. That face. Let's talk about that face. That gold painted is rather lovely. The head sculpt is your typical samurai helmet, Shogun-esque. I don't know if I would have named him Drift, though. I might have named him Shogun or something like that. Drift is not the type of name I would give for a samurai. But in car mode, sure, why not? Right here, though, we got the arms have a good, decent amount of movement. They come all the way around. They come outward. They come up. They come back down. The head is on a ball joint, and it can go up and down and side to side. The legs lift up pretty well. They bend at the knee very well. You're not going to get too much going back, though, because of the back kibble, which is back here. Now, one piece I didn't do is pull this up to make it a little bit easier. And there's a piece that's supposed to peg back in there, but I don't want to risk breaking it as I just got them out of the package. So I'm going to leave it as is. Now, again, This Drift is not the type of name I would give to a samurai. Vehicle mode, it perfectly fits because of the way he drives. He drives like a freaking stunticon. And I don't know how all the scenes I looked... I mean, Autobots are supposed to be safe drivers, last I checked. And this one drives like a stunticon. He belongs on their team. And I would put him on said team, except for his tendency to chop people up. They would never be able to combine to form Menasor. You know, he'd be too mad at them, and he would have to insist on probably being an arm or the body, as he loves his swords so much. Speaking of swords, he comes with some handy little accessories. This beautiful plastic piece of sword. It just is. This, I've seen swords on Transformers. My favorite being Springer, the sword design on him. This kind of reminds me of Springer's blades a little bit, but it's got some nice design, it's got some nice markings in there. But I would think, you know, this, I wish this looked more like the typical katana blades or the ninjakin swords, you know, or a samurai sword. That's the only nitpicky complaint I have about it. I apologize. He comes with 2 of those. Let me get his other one, and we can fit that in hand here. Just like that. Now, it might be backwards, but who cares? You know, it goes like that. He's pretty damn good with it. He can hold that very lovely. And let's put that here. So he's ready to dice up some Deceptor-Trash. Or he's ready to dice up some meats. You know, he would make a fantastic sushi chef, offering you the finest cuts of Optimus Prime rib on your sushi. He is a master chef Drift, ready to serve you the finest cuts of Energon sushi. Anyway, he is amazing. He's a beautiful looking figure, and I gotta say, I love samurais. As I said, I love me some ninja. I love me some Japanese lore. And he is able to be put in some numerous poses. He has another tiny little weapon here, which I will show you in a second. Right there, nice little dagger. Now, forgive me, I will openly admit, I lost one of the daggers as I'm... Sorry, there's focus. I lost one of the daggers as I'm popping it out of the package, and it fell under my table, and I still can't find it. So I apologize wholeheartedly for that, otherwise I'd show you the others. But primarily, this is Drift. He is an amazing figure. You need to go out and get yourself one. If you're not a fan of Transformers, the live-action movies, but you're a fan of the show, and if you love you some ninja, if you love you some samurai, I would pick this figure up again. Thank you so much to my good friend Desirea Johnson, who went out of her way and got me this as a Christmas gift because she knows I love me some Transformers. So I want you guys to take this in. Look at amazing. And you know, you could put the fin, I call them fins, but them shoulder pads, like your typical Japanese style clothing, what samurai would wear. Most often you'd see the pads like that. But I don't know, I kind of like them up here. Like that. The wheels are barely noticeable, you know, for me anyway, at least from this angle. You know they're wheels because you know he was a car. But they just fit so well. They fit smoothly there. And it just makes sense to have it there. And expect to see this guy in some future skits of mine. I don't know if I'm going to go with the whole... accent that I just did. I apologize if that offended anybody. Please forgive me. But I can't stop looking at how awesome this figure is. His poses, you know, if you have him, show me in the comments below. Take some pictures of the numerous different poses that you will see with him, that you can do with him. Sorry. But he's really posable. I like the fact that the newer Transformers figures are more about posability than some of the old school stuff was back in the 80s. They were just all about looking like their robots and looking like their vehicles. More often than not, though, you wanted to keep them in their vehicles. This is one of the few exceptions. Drift, I like to keep in his robot mode or his vehicular mode. I will say that the vehicular mode is a little bit tricky to put back together because of the fact that it's a hard time keeping stuff together, because you got to make sure that it snaps together just right. Because when you saw me undo it, redoing it is a pain. I'm not gonna lie, but he's got some great articulation. It's definitely top heavy because of the back kibble, but he balances pretty damn well. Please forgive the crude setup in the background. My regular review table has been commandeered by the Transformers class of 2018, which I will show in my first beginning 2019 video. You'll see the current Transformers that my lovely wife Kelsey and I have collected together. She has a good dozen female Autobots, and we've got more coming. Special reviews will be on the way. A couple more that I will be doing. I had planned to do one by Christmas Eve, but I don't know if I'll get it out in time. I will admit, I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm hoping to get it out by Christmas Eve. If I don't, it'll be out before the end of this year, and that's a promise. And then I will definitely be beginning the year with something big. Not going to say what it is. Just know that it's going to be a good review. No clues here. Just enjoy. But that's it for now. I am Kylo the NESMAN, your friendly neighborhood Transformers reviewer, saying that growing old is mandatory, growing up is optional. Childhood into adulthood, brotherhood and sisterhood. I love it all, and I love you all. Peace.